The message blinked on my screen at 10:47 p.m. Flight got delayed. Stuck overnight in Chicago. Love you. Don't wait up, red heart. At first, nothing about it seemed strange. Julia had been flying a lot lately. Meetings, conferences, networking trips. I'd even started getting used to sleeping alone, convincing myself this was just what her career demanded. But as I stared at the text, something in me hesitated. Maybe it was the little heart she added, the same one she used to send me before her affection turned mechanical, like a routine instead of a feeling. I typed back, "Okay. Hope you get some rest." Then, without thinking, I tapped on the location bubble next to her name. It was habit more than suspicion. What popped up made my breath hitch. Miami. Not Chicago. Not even close. For a few seconds, I just stared at the glowing map on my phone. My pulse thudded in my ears, the silence of our dim bedroom pressing down on me. Maybe her phone's GPS was glitching. Maybe she had a layover. Maybe. Called her. Once. Straight to voicemail. My chest felt tight, like my ribs were closing in around my heart. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the framed photo of us from 2 years ago. Her head resting on my shoulder, both of us grinning, oblivious to whatever cracks were already forming underneath. Something wasn't right. By midnight, I'd talked myself in and out of panic a dozen times. My thoughts ricocheted between anger and denial, looping endlessly. Julia wasn't the kind of woman who'd lie. Not her, not after everything we'd built. We'd been through college debt, a miscarriage, the hard years of starting our own business. She was my anchor, my everything. But anchors, I was realizing, can also drag you under. I opened her email on my laptop. Not proud of it, but curiosity had turned into something sharper, almost survival. There, buried in her recent messages, was a confirmation from a Miami resort. 2 nights, King Suite, booked under her maiden name. The air left my lungs. I felt dizzy, like the room had tilted. Still, I needed to see it, to confirm this wasn't just some coincidence. I clicked the reservation link. Check-in. 7:32 p.m. The same time she'd told me she was boarding for Chicago. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. My hands trembled. Every excuse I could make dissolved one by one, leaving only the jagged truth. She lied. The woman I trusted more than anyone else in the world lied to my face. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the living room, lights off, her favorite blanket still on the couch, her scent faint but present. The clock ticked endlessly, each second heavier than the last. I thought about calling her again. I thought about driving to the airport, flying to Miami myself. I thought about pretending I never saw the message at all. But I couldn't unknow what I knew. At 6:12 a.m., her message finally came. "Morning, babe. Still waiting to hear about a rescheduled flight. Chicago's chaos right now." I stared at it for a long moment, then typed my reply. "Your GPS says Miami." 3 dots appeared, then vanished, then again. I could almost hear her heartbeat syncing with mine, panicked and uneven across the miles. "Wait, what? No, that's wrong. I can explain." I didn't answer. I didn't trust myself to. The phone rang within seconds. Her name lit up my screen. I let it buzz until it went silent. Then again. When I finally answered, her voice was breathless, trembling. "Daniel, listen to me, it's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I asked, my voice low, too calm for the storm inside me. I came to Miami for a meeting. It was supposed to be confidential. I couldn't tell anyone, even you. Confidential. At a resort. With a king suite. She was quiet for a moment. The silence said everything. "I didn't want to hurt you," she whispered finally. "It just happened." Those words. Just happened. Like our vows were an accident. Like love was gravity and she simply fell into someone else's orbit. My throat tightened. "Who is he?" She hesitated. Then softly. "Someone from work. It's been complicated." I closed my eyes, trying to block out the image of her in another man's arms, in a room I could now picture too clearly. Complicated, I repeated. That's a hell of a word for betrayal. I didn't plan it, Daniel, she said, her voice cracking. I was lonely. You've been so distant. Don't, I said sharply. Don't make this my fault. There was nothing left to say. Only the sound of her breathing, uneven, guilty, human. And the echo of mine, steady but hollow. By the time she returned 2 days later, the house was spotless. Her suitcase sat by the door. Her closet was half empty. She stepped inside, eyes red, wearing the same clothes from her Chicago trip. Daniel, please. I handed her the folder on the counter. Inside, divorce papers and signed. I'm not doing this in anger, I said quietly. I'm doing it because I finally see the truth. You chose him. You chose this. Tears welled up in her eyes. It was a mistake. No, I replied. It was a decision. She stood there, shaking, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. You were my home, she whispered. He nodded. And you burned it down. Weeks later I still check that message sometimes. The one that started it all. Flight got delayed. Stuck overnight in Chicago. It reads almost innocent, almost believable, like the last calm breath before the storm. But every time I see it, I'm reminded of one simple truth. Love doesn't die from distance. It dies from dishonesty. And once trust is gone, no map can lead you back.